shenanigans.
No, you don't get shit. Would you rather me or fucking Cesar Lopez? Rather me or Cesar Lopez?
It's what the Marine Corps has been pretty much all about since its founding creating father, Samuel Nichols, stood up the battalion over at the gay bar over at Ton Tavern. But now they're carrying on that tradition, as it looks like there may have been somebody that was not above the age of 18 that were inside a room of a barracks installation over at Camp Pendleton. Now, this was first brought over to Not and Reg's post over on Instagram, where they were leaked this information and they show this photo. They said a Marine with CLB 5, Combat Logistics Battalion 5, got arrested for having the three-letter word that's dangerous with the minor in the barracks. Duty logbook reads, 13-year-old female was found in this room number. Duty notifies the barracks manager. PMO, the military police, is called to check it out. NCIS agent shows up, and so on. Now, obviously, this is not a secret that Marines, especially in Southern California, have been in trouble for doing things that have been involved with moving people across borders and things like that are very dangerous, as we know that there are people that were being charged with issues of bringing people from Mexico over to Southern California and making money pretty much as mules. But they are alleging that this similar instance is happening here, but with a person that is not above the age of 18. But there has been an update from Not and Regs, which actually found out more information, as the family started to come out talking about this situation and their concerns and fine details, and saying that the military might be trying to cover this up.
Do you guys remember the post about the Marine who was found with the 13-year-old minor in his room? Here is a major update.
I would just like to preface this video. I did not kill myself. If I go missing or end up dead, the people potentially responsible could possibly be located here at Camp Pendleton. Hello, my name is Cassandra Perez. Please share this video with anybody and everybody. This is a warning to the public. To not jeopardize the ongoing investigation, I will not be releasing the name of the victim. However, I will be releasing details to the public to help prevent harm and hopefully find others willing to share their story. My niece is under the age of 18 and has learning disabilities. On June 10th, she went missing, and on June 27th, she was found on Camp Pendleton. Camp Pendleton is a military base in Oceanside, San Diego. She was found in the barracks by military police. She had been sold to a soldier force. The military is trying to cover it up. They are trying to cover it up and place majority of the blame on her. However, the reality is the whole facility allowed this to happen. The security looked her in the face and allowed this man to bring a minor onto base, where he then proceeded to have sex with her. Due to her age, she could not have given this consent. We've just had an interview with someone referred to us by the military. In this meeting, we were told by the affiliated personnel that the military detective assigned to the case is trying to cover this up. As you can imagine, this is upsetting and absolutely unacceptable. I have the lead detective's name and phone number and will be releasing it to the public pending confirmation from our attorney. Our hope in doing so is to both bring attention to my niece's case and to ensure that this does not go away upon release of more details. We hope you would join us in calling and demanding both release of details as well as the pursuit of justice. Our family is worried about retaliation from the military and the man that has trafficked my niece. We believe they could be working together and covering this up, and that the military is only trying to protect their property.
Now, I sit here and I ask a couple questions, right? It would be easy to say that this guard that allowed this girl to come on this military installation just let them go through. When you're having thousands of cars come through one installation on any given day, they're checking to make sure that the validity of an ID is allowing that person that's in the vehicle driving or escorting the people on is able to have access to the base. They're not like looking for the person thinking that there's some crude or unusual act that's occurring, unless there was some kind of suspicion or something was said. But the reality is, like, that could have been his sister, could be a daughter, could be whatever else, could be family members, cousins, you know what I mean? Like, you can't have the time to question every person that comes on a military installation. So I'm not going to say the person that's at the sentry of the gate was in charge to make sure this did not happen. The other thing is looking at this from the perspective is the military looking to cover this entire situation up? I'd say it would be easy for them to say, mission accomplished. We caught the guy. We looked through his stuff. Yes, this is what was going on. We will not tolerate this and write it off and go on from there. However, I would say it's probably more likely that they're going to do a thorough investigation, especially as we've seen some of the debacle that's happened with the Vanessa Guillen situation down in Fort Hood, Texas, where people are talking about issues with that as well. So I'm like, I think people and entities in the military have learned we're not going to get away with not doing our due diligence. But that has come across some people that I would say are very good friends with a lot of top officials over on Camp Pendleton as they were forced retired from it. We're talking our good old friend Sergeant Major Bull over here that has now made official posts saying he's spoken to some top official people, which I would say you take as a grain of salt, but I'd say as a sergeant major that's probably dealt with legal investigations even on his own, it's okay, but maybe he actually has some connections where I'd say there is some validity where he has some connections with top people that are on this base.
Pay attention because I got some major updates in this potential human trafficking case. Number one, what I'm about to tell you is not opinion. It was given to me by law enforcement that have firsthand knowledge of everything going on. The young female and the young Marine did meet on Tinder. She lied about her age, claimed that she was 18. She sent him a picture of a fake ID. He believed she was 18, went out in town, off base, off Camp Pendleton, and picked her up. He brought her back to his barracks room. She was there for some time before she was discovered by this Marine's roommate. The roommate then called the officer of the day. The officer of the day called the MPs, and the MPs, military police, involved CID and NCIS. All parties involved were interviewed by all three of those entities. This Marine gave up his phone so that NCIS could go through his electronics. His story was corroborated, and it is believed that he believed that the young female was of age. Because of that, what I can tell you is he has not been charged with a crime. Keep in mind, this did happen on a federal installation. I don't know if California state law applies or federal law or the difference between the two. Let me know what you think in the comments. Yes, this young Marine did admit to having with her. She claimed to only have kissed and cuddled with this young Marine. The young female admitted to targeting this young Marine and deceiving him. The aunt in a previous video was the only one using the language of trafficking and being sold. Again, no charges have been filed against this Marine. There is no probable cause that he knew that she was underage.
Obviously, the roommate had some inkling that this was not a good situation because he's like, hey, duty people, can you guys make sure that this person's actually allowed to be here? So, I mean, I have to look at this kid that, yes, he did get an ID that was fake that said she was 18. He had no inkling that she was 13. There's a big difference between 13 and 18, unless these kids are growing up faster than ever before. And what's weird about this entire thing as well is that if what he's saying here is true, is the fact that are we seeing her trying to cover up for this guy? It does look like she's trying to manipulate it if they do show text and things like that. But trust me, I would say out of anyone that's done any military news coverage or story, I can say that if this was true, that this was a trafficking issue or whatever else, that this would be blown up so hard that they would say, we need to make an example of this kid. However, that's not been the case, and this story's now been almost 10 days old at this point. So, I don't know, but let's leave it up to what you guys think down in the comments below. That's my thought process. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you guys like that I cover videos like this, hit me up over on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.